What's up, guys? Spin Firearms here. Today I wanted to talk a little bit about carry firearms, reliability, Polymer80’s, Glocks, that whole sort of thing. So someone commented, hey, you shouldn't carry that Glock 26 if it's not stock, if you built it from the frame up. So what I do is I buy a $60 frame up, big text ordnance, and then I build up so I can customize the firearm. I do have stock Glock 26s and stuff like that, but I don't want to buy the firearm and then pay all that money just to swap out parts. That makes no sense. So I build from the ground up. My carry firearm, I bought the frame. I put Glock OEM internals. The only non-Glock OEM internals is the 3.5 Ghost Ink connector, and that's it. Other than that, I do have an aftermarket slide and I do have an aftermarket barrel. But both the aftermarket slide and barrel tend to always be pretty reliable, as long as you get a decent brand and test it. Testing is the main thing. So you can have a Polymer 80 and it be a reliable carry firearm. I don't recommend carrying Polymer 80s because if you're in a self-defense situation, they're going to crucify you on the point that it is a Polymer 80 and it's not a serialized firearm. They're going to crucify you in court. So that's why I say do not carry Polymer 80s. But if it's to save your life, then, you know, I'm all for it. But when it comes to Glocks, you can get a Glock that has, you know, I at least put 500 rounds through it, both ball ammo and hollow points. That's considered reliable to carry, in my opinion. If you get something like a Taurus G3C, you're going to need to put more rounds through it because the quality control just isn't as good as other companies. So I would say you need 1,000 rounds to that Taurus G3C before you start carrying it. But you can have completely reliable, trustworthy Taurus G3Cs, any Taurus firearm, to be honest. It's all about that particular firearm. You can have a Glock, like my Glock 27 has like, you know, maybe 2,000 rounds through it, and it just started malfunctioning out of nowhere. You can have stock Glocks that malfunction. It's that simple. You can have stock anything that malfunctions. It's just about that firearm in particular. That's why I trust that build I have. It's ran smooth, it's been reliable, and I trust it because I put the rounds in time to shoot it. I've tested it through almost any kind of ammo, all weights, all kinds, all kinds of hollow points, zero issues. That's reliable to me. Everyone else can do it differently, but in my opinion, that's my criteria for, you know, how I carry stuff. The thing about Polymer 80's is, so a Glock OEM frame was meant for Glock OEM parts, at least the internals. The problem with Polymer 80's is every single time someone makes one, their holes are going to be a little different than the person next to them or a little different than the holes in their firearm they built before. And that's when tolerances come into play, and all these little things that are a little off are all going to affect the firearm in some way. Sometimes they mesh together perfectly, other times you just cause problems. That's the thing with Polymer 80's, where I'm buying a Glock 26 OEM frame that was meant for those Glock parts. Those holes are perfectly drilled by machines and are going to be the same as the frame before and before and before. So the tolerance issue isn't a thing. And slides and barrels don't tend to be the reason for malfunctions. It's usually the internal parts. I mean, it could be the the barrels. It just needs polished feed ramps, stuff like that. But if you get a good barrel and a good slide, usually there's no issues. If you get a good, reliable company, usually there's zero issues. But anyways, yeah, that's my take on reliability, Glocks, and Polymer 80's. Thanks for watching.